So as you can see, I've laid one bead of glue down there. It's right in the middle. I'm going to take a paintbrush now and flatten the glue out a little tiny bit. You want it on pretty thick actually, and you want to get the back of the paper fairly wet. The nice thing about getting the paper wet is it'll bend and flex a little easier around the contours of the pumpkin. Yeah, don't know how else to explain this. Get it all fairly wet and gluey and it should go on nice and smooth. Okay, all glued up there. Just going to brush it. And I'll show you a quick, basically just want to get it mushed in there pretty good. I'm going to have to put the phone down here for a second, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, pumpkin's completely brushed. The paper's really brushed. You can see the paper softening up and curling away here now. It wants to just flop around. That's exactly what you're after. You're just going to slowly lay it down. You want to make sure you, as you're going, you push it down nice and tight. Oh my goodness, how do I put you on focus here? Again, always starting in the middle here, and just work your way through the little grooves. Make sure your fingers pushing all the glue out, pushing all the air out. You're going to notice as you get towards the edges here that it's going to start to pucker a little bit. That's perfectly fine. What you're going to try and do now is I'm going to try and hide the puckers in spots that don't affect the pictures at all. So like I'm going to try and squeeze one in right there. I put another one in here in his hair, which is also a really nice place to hide it, because when you're carving hair, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want any puckers through the face or through any details like this chain here and stuff like that. You want to try and avoid putting it through ears, anything like that. But anytime you can hide it in hair or just background nonsense that doesn't really need to be part of the picture, that's where you want to have the little folds going. And then you just kind of glue them over. You put a little bit of glue on them. Whoops. And then you'll be able to fold it on top of itself, and all will be good. You want to try and keep your hands as dry as you can while you're doing this, because the ink will lift up off the picture, and then it's going to be really hard to carve if you can't see what you're supposed to be carving. I always obviously have a reference picture as I go, but it's just nice if you can keep as much of the picture on the pumpkin as you can. Okay, here we go. So I've squeezed it all paper down nice and tight as I can get it. You can see the little wrinkles all the way around the outside edges here. Not a very big deal. They're all hidden. Now I'm just going to use a paper towel to wipe the excess away from the edges and help push the paper down. Basically, there we go. I'll just show you just like that there. So I did put a little wrinkle in between the chains. Put a little wrinkle in his jacket there. There's a little wrinkle over here by his hair, and then there's a couple of wrinkles up here in the negative space, which doesn't really matter because that won't even be carved. I try to use the paper towel because it doesn't stick to my fingers quite as easy or as much with the paper, and the paper will start to tear when your fingers start getting sticky. So you want to avoid that if you can. You want to squeeze out all the excess glue all the way around. Don't worry about the glue on the pumpkin. That washes off later when you're done. And that's basically it. We're ready to carve the violator here. Well, tomorrow we'll be ready. Gotta let this glue dry overnight. And yeah, everything should be good to go then. Alright, we'll start again tomorrow. Take care.